Hi, folks. So if you go to URL ajaytrivedi.com demo/SQL Monitor, you will get to this page where you can see all the uh, dashboards that we have in SQL Monitor. Starting with the top one, as the name says, for the dashboard, this one is for monitoring all the servers of your environment on a single screen. So it essentially means is if a server is having any kind of issue, that will appear on this dashboard. Otherwise, we don't show servers on this dashboard unless they have some issue. For example, there is this server which seems to be offline or not accepting user connections. That's why that one is appearing under row offline or linked server issue row on this dashboard. The last row in this one is all servers health metrics require attention, which gives us health metrics which are very common. For example, blocking, CPU, memory grants, available memory, waits per core per minute, very high or low. Those kinds of metrics which are very common, they appear in the last row. If there is any tempdb issue going on any server, that server will appear in this row saying tempdb utilization require attention. Each of these metrics they are linked in themselves. If you click on these links, they will take you to different dashboard, which will expose more detailed analysis over the time. That means trend over the time. Also, most of the metrics like tempdb, log space, disk space can be controlled by these parameters, which are there up at the top in the dashboard. Then we have the log space utilization row. Here, by default, there is no issue on any servers in my environment, but that is being happening by log saver infra that I have in background. So one thing which I can do here is I can say pre-validated logs to no, so that I want to use my own custom values of log used percentage and log used GBs to see if there is any issue on any server based on my thresholds. So currently there is some server where the log space used is above 93 point, is around 93% used based on these thresholds, but these two thresholds are only evaluated if this parameter, this variable value is set to no. Otherwise, if you set this variable to yes, then then the log space is evaluated by the log saver, which is present on each individual server. Then we have a row for always on latency, always on database latency. Right now, I don't have any always on my lab environment, so nothing will appear in this row right now, but it is working. I have already deployed similar this thing in my office environment, and that is working perfectly fine. Then we have this row for disk space analysis. So if there is any server where there is any disk which need some kind of attention, that will appear here. You can control warning threshold for disk, critical threshold, and the free space boundary that will help you segregate between large disk versus small disk. So for example, if there is a disk drive where 250 GB or more is free on the disk, then I would not consider that disk a very critical disk until and unless it is full to 95%. Okay. But if there is a disk where free space is below 250 GB, then these thresholds of disk warning and disk critical, they are considered for that disk, irrespective of what it is size after that. So suppose I have a 100 GB disk where the disk is full to 81%, that will start appearing here. Then we have a row for monitoring SQL agent jobs themselves. If there is any SQL agent job, if there is any SQL monitor job which collects all, these metrics which we see on the dashboards, if that job is stuck or if that job did not run successfully even once within a set threshold, that job will appear here, and that means we need to take action as a DBA and look into why it is stuck or failing. So this is all pretty much about the central dashboard. There are many other dashboards in SQL Monitor Infra. For example, if you want to find out how the job SQL agent jobs look like on your all the servers, then you can come to these dashboards. So for example, this will give you overall success versus failure on each and every server. Right now, I have only one server in my lab environment, so I see only one server. But if you have, say, 100 servers would be coming in this panel, and the server with the top failures will be top in the list. Similar goes for all the servers where the jobs are SQL agent jobs are currently running. Then we have all the servers where jobs got cancelled. And finally, we have got SQL agent jobs whose success ratio is less than 50%. So suppose you have out of 100 servers, suppose you have 20 servers where there are jobs whose success ratio is below 50%, they will appear in this last panel. Each of these panels have links under them. So if you want to find out the failed jobs, you have to click on this one. For example, if I click on this, it will take me to the specific dashboard which is designed for this job level analysis. So on this server, this is the job divide by zero error, which has failed last time. So you can see last outcome failed and how many times that job has run, how many times it has succeeded, how many times it has failed. All those metrics are saved here. And post that, all the jobs from all the servers collectively, they will appear in this next row panel. So if you have a job whose name is almost similar on all the servers, you can come and filter on a particular job name here and then apply that. So you can check the status of that job on all the servers in one go here. This data is refreshed around every 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, that's how it helps. Apart from this, we have so many other dashboards. For example, monitoring live distributed, which is designed to give you the live metrics of any server, one server at a time. So you have to choose the server from the top. If that server is the SQL cluster, then in that case, you may have to choose a specific host of that cluster or a specific node of that cluster from this drop down. And then you can see all the metrics regarding that server. So these are all live metrics which you see in these two first rows. So first one and second one. Post that, all these metrics, they are coming from recorded information that we capture every 1 minute or every 30 seconds, around like that. So for example, this is how the CPU trend utilization looks like for this server, which is of course my lab environment laptop. So what kind of information you will get on this individual server dashboard? Pretty much everything regarding the server. For example, if there is a memory grants issue, you will see what sessions are consuming the maximum memory. Here it is saying 500 MB because the threshold which I am considering for troubleshooting sessions is 500 MB. If a session is consuming more than 500 MB, then I consider it as a high memory consuming session. But all these things are what you call configurable from the parameters or variables up at the top in the dashboards. So we have memory related things. We have log space related TempDB space related metrics. Who is consuming TempDB? Who is consuming your log space on any database? If there is any long running session, the session details using SP, who is active here. If there are a high number of connections, you will see the distribution of those connections, from what host they are coming, what program they are coming, what login they are coming, what state they are in. Then we get to see even any maintenance job from DBA maintenance job. If it is running here, we will get to see that also. Then disk space information on that server. So for example, on this server, space information was collected at 18. That becomes 17 minutes back on this machine, according to my current time. So 17 minutes back, and you can see we have 3 disks on this machine, and this is how the capacity looks like, and this is how much free space is there, and percentage and everything. This infra even considers mounted volumes also, so there is no issue regarding that point. So yeah, this is individual server dashboard. Then we have, if you are big fan of perform counters, then you will love this third dashboard, which is all about monitoring the perform counters. The dashboard name is monitoring perform counters Quest softwares distributed. So any perform counter that you will find in the PDF of PDF Quest software's PDF, then those metrics are definitely present in this dashboard. For example, if I want to analyze anything regarding the disk latency, I can come to this logical disk or physical disk panels. If I want to analyze anything regarding the disk sizing, I mean database file sizing, you will get to see them here. Similarly, if you want to analyze anything regarding the memory clocks or how memory is being utilized, or general server metrics like batch requests, compilations, locking, blocking, pretty much every information which comes from Perfmon is being displayed here. Suppose that we have some other metrics. So this dashboard, Blitz server health analysis, uh, is displaying the details that we capture through first responder kits procedure SP Blitz. So we run SP Blitz on each and every server once a week on Friday around 10 p.m. and we display the latest capturing metrics here on this dashboard. So the last row represents all the information from the latest capturing of SP Blitz. Uh, then we have other rows here which are segregated by their group finding group. So all the warnings which are in reliability finding group, they appear on this first row. Similarly, there are different rows for different finding groups of SP Blitz. Apart from that, we have Blitz index analysis. So this dashboard displays the information in a very very informative manner from the data that we capture with SP Blitz index in mode 2 and mode 1 and mode 4. So the first row will give us the information of what we get in mode 1, I think. So per database, one line with each and every information about that database, like how many indexes, how many clustered indexes, heaps, what size, what is the total size of the heaps, what is the total size of clustered indexes. Pretty much one liner with every kind of information regarding the indexes coming from SP Blitz index of first responder kit. Then we have the second row, which will give you information of any table which has zero growth in X number of days. This X number can be changed from this parameter here. Now, on my lab environment, uh, I pretty much drop and recreate all these tables and reinstall and remove SQLMonitor pretty often. So I don't have the data of longer than 2 days on the server. But if you have longer than 2 days on your server and there is a space issue on any drive, you can come and check what tables are there for which the data has not changed at all in X number of days. So for you, X may be 30 days, maybe 60 days, maybe 90 days, or even more also. So if I find a table more than 90 days, I may reach out to developers, application developers saying that, hey, this table has not changed, so kindly look into it if this table is a good candidate to being dropped. Similarly, if there are some tables whose growth has been very high, you will find them in this third row, tables with highest growth in last X days. Similarly, if you want to find out any high warnings, high priority warning, which comes from SQL Blitz index default parameter or default mode, then those you will see here. So, for example, on my server, I have not been running any kind of workload on Stack Overflow, so I don't have anything. Here, it is giving me high priority indexes, high priority recommendations only for DBA and Adventure Works pretty much. If you want all kinds of recommendations, that comes with mode 4 of SQL Bits Index that is being represented by second last row here. So this is all about SQL Blitz Index. Then we have disk file IO stats. So suppose you there was a disk space issue or disk slowness issue on your server, and you want to find out which file, which database, or which file was the main culprit. You can come to this dashboard and analyze all that kind of information here. So you can filter on a particular disk drive or for a particular database, and you can see all the metrics regarding that file. If there is any latency at the disk level, you will get to see even that information here. For example, this is how the metrics look like for a few of the databases on my servers. Let's go deeper into this. Here you can see. So this data is sorted based on the average write latency, I suppose. I think the average read latency or something. I don't exactly remember, but yeah. Uh, if you suspect any kind of latency at the disk level or file level, you can come to this dashboard. Most important thing about this one is you can filter all these things by the drive or by the database name. Plus, there are a hell lot of information on this dashboard. You can get selective information also. That means from since startup till last 2 hours, and then metrics from last 2 hours till now. So this will be represented by the second row. Third row will give us the IO in terms of GBs, over time in histogram format. Same goes for IO, but in terms of IOPS, how many input outputs has happened in this panel. So there are variety of information which are being represented in the dashboard, and they are very helpful in while trying to evaluate the IO performance issues. Post that we have disk space related dashboard. This dashboard again will give you all kinds of information to solve your disk space issues. For example, if you want to find out the trend of disk space utilization for a particular drive, you can come here and you will see a tabular format of the result and how much disk has grown in last 24 hours, 5 days, 10 days, 30 days, and even how much time it will take according to this current growth rate to fill this entire disk. Same goes by the trend. So here you can see the trend over time. You can choose this trend time frame. Right now it is showing 15 days here from the top. You can choose 30 days, 90 days, or 120, whatever days you like. Same goes for percentage disk utilization. Then how the disk space utilization looks like at the database level. So earlier was at disk level, now at the database level. Again, just like in any other dashboards, you have got some filters up at the top, so you can filter this information for a particular disk drive or a particular database. So suppose there is a one database whose files are spanned over several disk drives. So if you filter for that database, you will see the disk drives only for that database. In my lab environment, seems I don't have database which is spanning over multiple disk drives. Post that we have AG health state dashboards, which will give you live AG health information as well as AG latency trends over time. So anything regarding AG, you can get that information from AG health state dashboard. Similarly, if you want to find out, of course, everybody knows if you want to start troubleshooting of SQL Server, the first thing you will check is wait stats. So we have a dedicated dashboard for wait stats. This first row in that dashboard will show us the wait stats information since the server has started. So my server has been up and running for 1.79 days. So here we see wait stats information since startup. So you get to see wait type. All these links are clickable and they will take you to SQL skills blog where these wait stats are explained by Paul Rendell. Then you get to see percentage, wait time, waits per core per minute, uh, and pretty much every information here regarding the waits that you get to see in SP Blitz first. Uh, SP Blitz first is for store procedure. So pretty much I took that motivation from Brent Ozar's first responder kit for displaying this information. The second row will give you the selective weight stats. What that means is, suppose I choose, people complain me that there has been space issue. Sorry, there has been performance issue since last 2 hours. So I can choose last 2 hours in this dashboard, last 2 hours of the interval here. So in the second row, the weight stats matrix which I see, they are from startup of the server, but up to last 2 hours, not including last 2 hours. The second panel in the same row represents the weight stats in last 2 hours. So here you can see time sample is 1.83 hours, close to 2 hours, because the time interval which we selected up at the top, that is being represented here in the second row. And the time interval since startup, but up to last 2 hours, not including last 2 hours, that is being represented in this first panel. So this way you can find out if you see a drastic change in the wait stats information, then you can find out what kind of issue has been happening since last 2 hours. Suppose I get to see uh, lock weights here in the second panel, but I don't see lock weights stats in the first panel that often or with a huge percentage, then I can say it was blocking issue directly like this. The third row in this weight stats panel is histogram representation of weight stats over time. So for last 2 hours, I will get to see here in the third panel weight statistics information on the server. It's my laptop, so I think due to this video recording, everything is slow because this server is my laptop itself. Come on, come on. I think I should reduce the time frame. Otherwise, it will take more time, I guess. So I'll cancel the query, change the time frame to 1 hour, and refresh it. Let's see if we get the data faster. But apart from this, then we have few more dashboards here. Let me close all of them. Hmm. So then we have who is active dashboard. So we run who is active every 2 minutes on each and every server, and we display that information in various ways on this who is active dashboard. For example, long running query, any query which is taking a lot of RAM or CPU, uh, any query, all the queries between X interval, all the queries for this login, all the queries for a particular program, all these things are can be filtered and can data can be viewed selectively on this dashboard. Finally, we have X event trend data and X event workload data dashboards. So X event trend will display. So we capture SQL batch completed and RPC completed X events, and we display that information here. So we can analyze this extended event data by login, by program, by host name, or by a combination of one, two, or all of them. For example, if I want to find out how the CPU utilization looked like by login, this is how the information looks like. I can even select by login and host name also. So here, this is how the information looks like. So this is the option I have in this tool. This is hourly information. Sorry, this is daily information. That means if I want to find, if people are complaining that there was a performance issue between 10 to 11, then in those cases I can go for hourly trend also. So in here I will have to choose the hour. That means 10th hour. That means from 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. All the data, all the X event data captured between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. And I can choose here hourly. So now I will see the CPU information only for that duration. You can see here the time drastically changed here. If I choose daily, all of a sudden time will change here again. So this was CPU. Then we have X event data being represented in terms of counts. Again, grouping can be login, program, host, or combination of all of them. Similarly, we get X event data analysis trend by reads, and same thing apply here. We can analyze this trend by daily or by hourly or by we can group the data by login, program, or host, or combination of all of them. So this is the X event trend analysis. Yeah, earlier we left this weight stats dashboard. So here the last panel of the weight stats dashboard display histogram information of weight stats. So on my server, this weight appears to be a top weight on the SQL server. So pretty much nothing is going on my server, it seems. Inside SQL server, of course. So that's it regarding the SQL Server dashboards, SQL Monitor dashboards that we have. And these are literally very helpful. In my organization, we are already monitoring 150 plus servers using the SQL Monitor dashboards that I have here on these video recording. So thanks, folks. Thanks for watching.